But yeah, so the first topic of the day that we have is Zelda. For some godforsaken reason, Nintendo decided to put out this video to tell us that it's gonna push back the production release of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I was kind of like, this thing is only like a minute or two long, and they literally showed us like nothing new. It was literally the same stuff we've heard or seen. So I was kind of like, why the hell waste our time? Like, why put a video out like this? Like, this was not necessary. Just do a press release like everybody else does. Or how'd you guys feel about this? Did you feel like this was more like a more heartfelt and passionate I'm sorry, we're pushing the game back video? Or what?
Well, for me, it's like I think because I've been playing Elden Ring, I wasn't as like so excited to play this. Like Elden Ring, like really scratched that like high quality open world itch that like
Mm-hmm.
we've all been wanting. And so this was like it came and gone. So I agree with you that I think like a tweet or a blog post or whatever would have been enough to announce the delay on this. But
Yeah.
maybe there's lots of rabid Nintendo fans out there that are just like really,
Devastated?
really devastated. Yeah, and so they felt like this was more like, you know, uh, I guess respectful to all those fans. They
Hey,
basically blamed it on the fact that this new game has a world in the sky as well as on the ground. So I
right.
guess like
There's
it's
a
going
lot
to
of
take
stuff.
them more time to
Yeah.
build, but um, I've said my piece a lot about game delays. I'm fine with the game taking as long as they want. I just wish that they wouldn't even announce a release date at all to begin with. Like I
Yeah.
don't mind a game taking a decade, take however long you need to take to make it, but why even give us a date? Because it seems like no company has stuck to a date, and
Unless
so
unless
it's
it's
really
legit
frustrating.
gold. Like unless you know for sure you could put this game out tomorrow, but you have to do enough ads and stuff like that to let people know so that your game can sell well. Like if that was the case, then I'd be all for that. You know what I mean? Like if you could legit drop your game tomorrow and it's playable, yeah, and it's ready to go, no problems or whatever. That you can find off top. Random shit's gonna happen, but yeah, if they could drop it like that, then yeah, by all means, announce your game, give it a due date. But yeah, I mean, like, if you want to just let people know that it's coming, do that. But don't give us a date. Don't tell us
Yeah, I
it's coming
agree.
out,
Yeah, like a lot of people
2022, and
think
then
like
I push it back 2023.
like a lot of people say like, "Oh, don't you want the game to be as good as it can be?" It's like, yeah, the problem isn't the time it takes. I don't. That's not what I'm worried about. It's not like I want the game now. Take as
Yeah,
much time as you need. It's that I don't like that you kind of like pseudo
got my
lying.
hopes up, man.
Yeah, yeah. Like, why even give? Yeah, exactly. Why do that to your customer? Just avoid
Yeah,
that altogether. But anyways, so
yeah, or just put like the infamous coming soon.
Yeah, I think that I think part of it is I think maybe they saw how well Elden Ring did as an open world game, so I think they wanted to release another masterpiece like the first Breath of the Wild. So I feel like there was more pressure because it's their Japanese brothers out there, you know Nintendo, all the Nintendo fanboys
mhm.
who
Yeah,
wanted Elden Ring. They maybe they only play Nintendo games, but I just feel like there's a little more pressure to make this a masterpiece like Elden Ring, and also it was how many years? 5 years, March 2017 since we saw the Breath of the Wild. So this has been a long time coming, man. It's gonna
Long
be
time.
six over
Yeah.
6 years between the two games. So I appreciate them, being giving like a sincere delay video. It doesn't change anything for me. I still want to play it. I don't know if I'm gonna get it on launch. But yeah, man, 6 years. Woo, that's a long time.
See, I
yeah.
wanted
I
to
mean,
ask
there's some
you.
games that never see a freaking sequel, but yeah, for
Like, I wanted
sure.
to ask you, Mark, and like I know you played it too, Golly. And now that we've all played Elden Ring, when I think back on Breath of the Wild, like part of me, now that I played Elden Ring, thinks it's kind of shallow. Like I think when Breath of the Wild first came out, it was like, man, this game is like, wow, this is a real
Good as
great open
well.
world game. But now I think Elden Ring is just like completely changed the bar. And I almost think this game was like tiny and shallow.
Yeah,
Well,
I think there's a lot of more emptiness. Like there's a lot of open areas. There's a lot of
Mhm.
places you can go. But compared to Elden Ring and the every cave and all these intricate NPCs and these little quest lines and items and you know
yeah, this shit's child's play
man,
compared to.
this
Yeah,
is
it's child's
literally
play.
Elden Ring Junior. So there's a lot of people who was criticizing Elden Ring, saying it was a Breath of the Wild copy, which I don't see
Mm,
that 1%. Breath of the
Nah,
Wild is literally baby Elden Ring, like
it is.
your first open world game starter pack is Breath of the Wild. So I think they have to go back and add more. I think they probably played Elden Ring and saw how the world was so there's like no emptiness in Elden Ring. Like literally everywhere had something to
there's
do, some
something
NPCs,
everywhere. Yeah, there's
like
something everywhere.
items. Compared to Breath of the Wild,
Yeah,
there's a lot of empty places.
it's like hyper rewarding, dude.
Mhm.
Like Elden Ring is like the most rewarding thing ever. Like every
Dude,
single dungeon, I'm so excited to see what I'm gonna get at the end. Like it's
yeah, for
always
sure.
different. It's always
Or
something
just the
new.
boss that's at the end of it. Like,
Or
what kind
even
of new
just
shit
seeing
am
what.
I gonna encounter now? Like, when I
Yeah,
cross through
but
this fog, it's waiting
here's
for
one
me.
thing that I felt from Elden Ring. Yeah, Squid,
Squid it!
dude, you got to play it, bro. You got to play it. I feel like Elden Ring. I never felt like I wasted my time. There's a lot of games where sometimes I'm hitting my head on a wall and I'm like, I just wasted the evening or I just wasted an hour. Elden Ring, I feel like I played the game and I always got so much out of it.
Bro,
So, and
even if I like spent like 20 minutes trying to work down Black Knife Tish and still dying, I could just be like, okay, I'll go over here and I'll just find some new weapons. Like, oh, okay, I'll go over here and I'll try to search for this item, and then I'll make my way over there, and then I might not even get to that area because I didn't know the exact path to take, but I found some other shit trying to search for that shit. You know what I mean?
you're
So
rewarded
it,
so
it's
much for playing the
always
game, dude. It's
something.
crazy.
Even the fact that
So,
you can be in an area that you cleared out, sit down at the grace, get back up, and then like maybe it was like a long stretch of land or something like that that you passed through or something. But just the fact that those glowing skulls are down on the ground that you can just run over with your horse and pick those up, that's still like something that they're just giving you freebies of. It's like,
Mhm.
hey, you cleared out this area, but you know what I mean? If you want to run back over here, like it's some extra little things that's over here. You know what I mean? Like it's always something to grab, dude. And that was always like that's like one of the things I really love about it, man.
But it's
It's just so
something
much.
great to grab, like as
Yeah,
well. Like you're kind of excited to pick up those little runes. Like those are
yeah,
experience points. Like
yeah. That's something
you're
that's
gonna
gonna get me that much more
yeah,
closer
you're
to
gonna
another
level
level.
up. Like everything is so much fun. Like every little item is so fun to get. Like you
Yeah,
find that somber stone, right? Or you find that, you find tiny bones and you're making your own arrows, and you're like,
yeah.
I think it's just like everything is so fun to get. Every item you discover, it's every way you get the item is like a new different zone and experience. Like
Mhm.
it's so dense. Like you're right. Like Breath of the Wild, you have like these long expanses between you finally find the dungeon, and the dungeons
Or
are
just
fun.
fighting
But it's
anything.
like,
Like there's
or even
lots
yeah,
of area in Breath of the Wild, and that's like another one of those things that you can like extremely appreciate is the fact that Elden Ring just gave you so many different varieties of enemies to attack and have to deal with. Like Breath of the Wild, it's just copy and paste goblin areas left and right all throughout the area. Like, oh, you ran 20 feet without something. Here's a goblin post. We'll put it right here, and we'll put like a few goblins. Same enemies all around. So it's just mundane. It's just monotonous. After a while, like you just run past those things. You don't even attack them because they're just a waste of your time. You know what I mean? But like I never felt like attacking an enemy in Elden Ring was like a waste of my time. And I
yeah,
hope
it's like an
that they change.
experience.
Yeah, and I hope they change that in this Breath of the Wild. I hope they give you way more varieties instead of just like doing like a mass population of this one creature in everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, don't make these goblins able to be in the fire area. You know what I mean? Don't let that happen. Give me something else.
Yeah, and
You
every
know?
fight is like I don't know about you, but it's really close to almost every single mob you come across. I swear has a different like feel,
Yeah.
right? Like I'm almost like,
Every,
how do okay, what does this enemy's feel in order to beat it easily? right? Is it one that's like got low poise, so when it hits my shield, I can counter? Is it one that's quick, so I have to dodge? Is it one that just is weak, so I got to make sure I get a hit in? Like every single enemy has like a different feel to it. It's crazy.
Yeah. Mhm. But yeah, so I mean, I'm definitely it was definitely like, you know, whatever for me to hear that Breath of the Wild was postponed. I'm definitely looking forward to it when it does come out. Kind of like Mark, I don't know if this is like a day one buy for me, but this is definitely one of those, you know, that I'll look forward to buying, you
I
know,
think
to
it's a
add
day
another
one.
game to my list. I
But
I don't really consider too many of the Nintendo games to be day ones. I mean, there's
well,
a
this
couple.
is definitely one of them. But I'm just saying, like, I wanted to buy a Switch just for this one game, and like, I feel like it was good. Like, it was
Mm,
good. But I do think after playing Elden Ring, I feel like if I went back and played Breath of the Wild, I would
you'd be
feel,
disappointed.
yeah, I'd be disappointed. Unfortunately, I think this is like definitely Elden Junior, like Mark Rice said, and I think like I don't think Elden Ring is impacting just this game. I think Elden Ring is going to be impacting games to come, dude. Like I
The
think it's
future.
going to impact all open world games from this point on. Like I
I
think
hope
it's
it
games
impacts
that
the hell out of Pokemon, dude. I hope they get some voice acting in that piece.
I hope
Golly.
that Nintendo's delaying this, as Mark said, because they want to make it more like Elden Ring. Like I hope they make it as interesting as and dense and
Yeah.
rewarding as Elden Ring is. I just and the fighting experience is just as fun and
Yeah,
unique.
get
I
get
can't
rid of the
wait.
Master Sword, man. Don't make the Master Sword like one of the best swords. Just give me some other stuff, man. Give me mad varieties of stuff that can compete against the Master Sword and the Tri Shield. You know,
It's cool, man.
that's the type of stuff I want to see.
I love you, me.